challenges. As we said, our strategies are bigger. Challenges are, just to show that we are doing well. Yeah. And we also, based on all of this, we had some feedback for PASGA. We thought that even though some of our challenges are very individual based, like large class sizes, infrastructure can't come, pedal may not have enough control over because it's an university-based problem. We also think that PASGA should
that initially it has happened almost all the
in the Department of Sociology.
Okay, so I'm Dr. Peace Mamletete from the Department of Sociology.
All right, I'm so much happy to be here because we are talking about pedagogical leadership, which is of just a aha moment, right from yesterday's opening ceremony, the sessions that went on.
I think even before yesterday, last year we were here, and there were a lot of things that the aha moment. One of them was when I used concept mapping. And the students could just see the one concept with sub headings or concepts on just one page, and they were so happy with it. Remember, during the exam page, they could see everything, the skeleton, and then build it up without writing pages. Yes.
Doing my class, and I said, oh, it came out from pedal, and this is just to get the students to do that kind of work. So God gave me the opportunity to speak to somebody else about pedal, somebody who's not had the opportunity of the methods. I have never really linked it to theory. That is because of this theoretical orientation. That is why I'm using these methods. I've not been able to, I never really linked the two till this morning. So that is new for me, and I find it very interesting.
Yes, yeah. And then to take it from, and then relate it to theories, and then be able to capture the
my colleague that just within our department, I am seminar coordinator. You could have one session where you speak to your colleagues about the cascading effects. You teach another who teaches another, and before you realize we all are using the approaches and the philosophies in our teaching.
What about it? What is your favorite model? What is your favorite?
Case study.
Okay.
Yeah, I like case study. And that is why I'm saying that adding the video, and you are talking about spreading it out. We are going to, and we have done it in our classrooms, and we are going to spread it out to our colleagues as well, so that they will also embrace it. And I know gradually it is going to go to other colleges as well.
Well, so far, I must confess, the part that I have not really grasped very well is using the technology-enhanced learning. Of course, the internet does not facilitate it a bit. So that's where I want to really grasp, because if you understand what to do, you need that to help you actually do it. So that's what I'm looking for to polish, particularly in this particular session.
And you give your student assignment, and then they tell you want to submit the assignment via WhatsApp. What will be your reaction?
I think we do that. Yeah, with they have a WhatsApp group, and so some things they send by WhatsApp, so we do that. Maybe other things we don't do. Yeah.
Well, I don't know what I would say, but I think so far I have used Sakai. So I get my students to send assignments in through Sakai, the Sakai platform, or to send as email attachments. I've not tried WhatsApp yet, but anything is possible.
Then I'm sure you are just using the technology, right? Thank you so much for spending time with us, and we look forward to interviewing you again in other sessions. Great.
Flow lights, assorted microphones, live streaming equipment, among others, you are sure to get the best of productions. Visit us at Trinity Avenue, Eastlake, AAU.org, AAU TV at AAU.org, or ransford@aau.org. Alternatively, you can call us on +233 244 7.
Ade and Jessica or someone about how do we know when to stop? The boundary.
Yes. That's good. So this is a kind of a description of cause and effect. And that is also, it helps us, one, to know that research causality is about focusing on simple thing. And those who are background will also determine the type of things we focus. For example here, we can say that not maintaining the cells led to C failure. And what led to whatever? What led to leaky valve was C failure. What led to leaky valve, wet surface was leaky valve. What led to someone sleeping with wet surface? What led to someone falling because the person slipped? And what led to injury was fall. But for us as scientists, all of us in this room, we may find a place interested in. He may be interested in wet surface and slippery. Maybe somebody in the environment. So the geographer there, maybe your interest will be just wet surface and the maybe leaky valve or whatever, slippery. For an engineer, his interest may not be this. His interest, why do C fail? He started tracing the issues and he know that it's the issue of maintenance. Am I right? Maybe for a nurse or somebody in health, his interest is in injury. Why do people have injury every time here? Because they do fall and they begin to trace it. So that to describe the causal, do a causal diagram, will begin to bring these issues. You are not interested, that's why you cannot do everything. If you begin to do everything, it becomes what we call in Nigeria, bobonise. Nigerians will not understand. There's a drug, a local drug in Nigeria. Drug cures everything. If you have stomach ache, you take it. If you have headache, you take it. If you are injured, you put it there. Anything at all. If you have snake bite, you drink it. If you have maybe whatever.
There's evidence for that.
The evidence we do not know. But to have a research that does everything. So it must be focused. It cannot be, if you are doing that, I tell my students once they come with their bogus research topic, I say this must be Bobonise research. Yeah, it's going to solve every problem in psychology, and I'm sure that your brain will not be able to cope with solving every problem in psychology. Why not select the little thing you can do and let us do it well, and we'll be able to speak to the international community. So that's actually what it is. Okay. So we have also started reflecting on Sloman's. Kemi started it. Then from what we have discussed so far, can we go back to that story of Sloman? Some of you that were in the module, I'm sure it was there are a lot of controversies there. Yes?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Evelyn.
I'm just linking this with what we did in the first session. In terms of challenges for critical thinking. And maybe I want to go to the example which was given, so that I'm looking at the cause. I'm looking at the cause variable. And there's challenge of common sense, where we say motivation and corruption in police. People know they're paid little money, that's why they actually what? Corrupt.
Yes.
So somebody said, but that is a common thing.
Yeah.
So at what point now do I bring the issue of the Z, the mechanism, to overcome the challenge of the common sense? Because for me, I'm just looking at that. Where we now have these, the mediating variables, you're saying the Z. If we handle the Z, then the Y, the X of motivation will not bring about the corruption.
Yeah.
How do I go about that? I'm hoping I'm not being so complicated.
No, not at all. I'll just explain this so that that's actually what is going on in the science world. We know about X, we know about Y, but the majority of the problem we have in the world, we don't know about the mechanism. If you pick any journal at random, published this week in any top journal, what they continue to push is that mechanism. Once you begin to know that police are corrupt, or corrupt police officers take money, but why do they take money? Why not do other things? Once you begin to look deeper and deeper and deeper, you are challenging common sense. You are critically imagining, and it requires a lot of skills and a lot of knowledge. And once you begin to do that, you are speaking. You are feeling what lies in between them, and that's actually why we're doing research. And that's the simplest way to even contribute to knowledge. Once who also, most of us are scholars who are interested in publishing, there is no way you can publish any study today without saying that this is the first study. That's the first thing the editors will hear. And the first studies, and they return it in the evening. That have done that long ago. So what it means is that, yes, a lot of people have done this, that have related this, but this is the first study tracing the reason why these things are happening through this mechanism. They say, yes, let's hear how you did it. And they can now begin to think about the methodology. Do you understand what I mean? So I think that's a good point, Evelyn, please. We appreciate that. So back to Sloman. Any reflection? Yes. Just one, so we can move on. We started with Kemi. Is there anything that we didn't cover again from Sloman? Yes. Yeah, please.
Except different comment on Sloman.
Okay.
Reflecting on the previous line you had before, there's the one on how far do you go?
Yeah.
And sometimes feel at a loss because teachers sometimes we overuse caveats in the name of limiting the research so much, such that even the evidence that you generate is so applies so narrowly to a phenomena and it cannot now be
generalized. Yes.
Exactly, and we do that because we're trying to just. I feel like we don't want to be poked so much. And so you find research that probably says things like, so this does not apply to this, it's not in the interest of this research to
Yeah.
into such and such a thing, and we do that in the name of, we're limiting our scope so much. And I'm really curious about your comment on that in relation to when and where do we stop.
Because we need really, you appreciate that. So we need to go deep, but we also need the breadth. So we are going to do that, and mixing method may help you. Some method may enable you to focus. You may combine another method may enable you to generalize. So it's really important because if you continue to overfocus, you may also miss a lot of very relevant information. Okay, all right. So we are also noting points on causality. Next point to note on causality is that causation is not correlation. And I just quickly tell this story. Sometimes we could feel that correlation is causation. Most of the studies we deal with in our everyday writing is correlational studies. But along the line, once we finish the study, we begin to claim causality. Our recommendations, our writing will be mimicking those who did causal studies. And that's why we do not really go far. We'll be battling with editors, battling with policymakers. Yes, this is related, but it's not a cause. They will please continue to emphasize the limitation. That is not a causal study, it's rather a correlational study. This is just a story of a lion and a rabbit. And I'll just use it to show that causation may not be correlation. This is a lion who challenged, a rabbit that challenged a lion. He said, do you know we belong to the same group of animals? He said, what do you mean? He said, the way wild animals are scared of you is the way they are scared of me. That wherever I go, wild animals, our colleagues are always afraid of me. And the rabbit, the lion said, what do you mean? He said, can we do an experiment? They moved on a journey. Didn't I tell you that the way they are scared of you is the way they are scared of me? Lion said it's not true. Say, can we move again? They moved and met the other group of animals. Immediately they saw the rabbit, they disappeared. They said, why shouldn't we be dining and enjoying ourselves together? We belong to the same folk. But I ask this class, is it the rabbit they are scared of or something else? But assuming that we are to run a correlation, the relationship between seeing the rabbit and disappearing, wouldn't you say that is they are scared of the rabbit? So, but it's just more of association rather than a causation. And that's the type of things we'll do. And I'll give maybe another example with a typical spurious, what we call spurious correlation. And let me explain when I'm sure, do you understand when I say correlation? Everybody here in this class understand when I say correlation? Correlation. Anybody that didn't understand what? Correlation means something is relating to another. A variable is relating. Appearance of one variable is occurring with the appearance of the other one. We'll say is a correlation. They are correlating. So this is a real data, not forged nor cooked. And if you go to this website, there are lots of these correlating things that are totally meaningless. Maybe we can also correlate here the number of participants in IITTA, correlating with the number of The more you have people in the IITTA, the more students fail in University of Ibadan. And you can correlate it over time. Every year that I have more people in IITA, you go to the University of Ibadan and check their results, they will fail more that year. So what it means is that if you want to have less failure, you should reduce the number of people that are coming to IITTA. The same thing here. You can say age of Miss America correlating with murder by steam, hot pepper and hot objects in the United States. This free data. And can't you see this? It's almost perfect relationship. So what it means is this for policy. And that's why correlational study is dangerous for policy makers. If you are to intervene here with this result, what are we going to do? We are going to make sure that before you win Miss America, if you want to reduce the death by this method, there should be 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, continue to increase. Have you seen why correlation is dangerous for policy makers? And that's the type of studies we do, and we'll push it there. They try it, it doesn't work. You finish a correlational study and say one causes the other, and the politicians say, okay, let's try it, and they pump money. The more they pump money, the less they produce. What it means is that we are not dealing with causation. You may be dealing with in causation is that the direction cannot be reversed. What do you understand what I mean by that? A cause will remain a cause, an outcome will remain an outcome. An outcome cannot cause cannot become a cause to the same outcome at the same period. You see our causal, the other thing will say this causes this, this causes this. The other one cannot cause this. Injury cannot cause fall. I mean, fall can cause injury, but injury cannot cause fall. You understand? So that's actually the problem. What they call in economics endogeneity. Am I right, Kemi? Endogeneity. Once you you must remove endogeneity when you want to talk about causality. Come back to zero. I'll give an example of this study. Dollar, Fishman, and Roberta are World Bank economists, brilliant economists. And they did a very robust, interesting study. Today, I think it's almost 1,000 citations already, published in 1999. What were they doing? They're saying that more women, maybe with annoyance that is not true, but they were citing the paper anyway. So what it means is this, for policy's sake, if we want to reduce corruption in Africa, what do we do? 60% women in parliament, 40% women in parliament, and we wipe out corruption. But it is a problematic because the arrow could go back. They couldn't trace how more women in parliament were leading well-established method. But it could be that is less corruption that led to more women in parliament. Because it has been theoretical possible that in less corrupt countries, there are chances of women coming to parliament. So it may not actually be that more women in parliament who are reducing corruption. It may be that in less corrupt countries, there are chances of women coming to parliament. Are we seeing the problem with causality? See, if you are not as psychology. And I did it with 2 Poles and 1 American. And what were we dealing with? We were dealing with number of children and marital satisfaction but I started the study first. So when we completed our study, we got something that was really intriguing, counterintuitive in a way, because what is known in literature is that more children leads to dissatisfaction in marriage, well established in literature. But when we got this, it was a kind of challenging existing knowledge. So, and we decided to try ourselves with that publication and publish it. One, as I said, Fatah started in the morning, it was counterintuitive. But is it actually number of children that is leading to marital satisfaction, or marital satisfaction leading to more number of children? In short, it's more theoretical coherent to show that number of children should lead to more children, rather than number of children leading to school feeding is our X, and that, or in making them to attend more. You understand? If you know you are going to eat food, and it's guaranteed, you will have to go. Am I right? Okay.
Don't go, you'll be hungry.
Then you may also, in the process of eating food, you may also learn more, and academic achievement may improve. Also, motivation to learn may be higher.